The Pentagon has finally admitted it. Evidence of otherworldly life exists. Case closed. Alien enthusiasts rejoice. For decades, America's been obsessed with uncovering the clues to the extraterrestrial universe. Is there more out there than we know? Has the government been hiding something from us this entire time? Absolutely. Recent reports have concluded that vehicles, those which are not made on this Earth, have been officially spotted, researched, and documented, with government officials, astrophysicists, and the Senate uniting in agreement. The Pentagon has known about it for a while, spent billions of dollars deciphering answers, and, at long last, has something to show for its endeavors. Ready for the most out-of-this-world story that you'll hear this year? As far back as 1947, when Roswell, New Mexico was making headlines as a potential UFO crash site, the thought of something out there has enticed the population. Kids, adults, professionals, and yes, even government agencies have found themselves tangled up in a web of confusion, hypotheses, evidence, and theories, all related to the idea of unidentified flying objects. The Pentagon and the public knew that if UFOs were proven beyond a shadow of a doubt, it would open an intergalactic can of worms. UFOs, or UAPs as they're now called, which stands for Unidentified Aerial Phenomena, have long been studied by the American government, although only recently was this formally admitted. The Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, or the AATIP for short, was secretly funded roughly between 2008 and 2012 to the tune of $22 million. Prior to that, a hand-picked team of nearly 50 staff, including scientists, expert analysts, and investigators, were assembled to work on the program. Back then, however, it cryptically operated under a different name, the Advanced Aerospace Weapons System Applications Program. Judging by that title, there's not much to infer about off-world vehicles, and seemingly that is exactly how the Pentagon intended. For over 2 years, no one could adequately explain whether AAWSAP and AATIP were two separate programs or the same initiative spread across two obscurely vague names. From the outside, its operations were extremely hard to read into, which again appeared as a deliberate ploy, all in the name of secrecy. Fast forward to June of 2020, and the government has just revealed another agency, one which has been operating behind closed doors, the Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Task Force. It is this specific UAP task force that is linked with the release of new and alarming findings that involve vehicles made of strange materials that do not originate from our planet. As the years have gone by, officials have consistently changed their outlook. One day they're adamantly in denial of anything remotely otherworldly, and the next they're voluntarily handing over footage, claiming, "This is all we have, here you go." Initially, the Pentagon declared that its Advanced Aerospace Threat Division had investigated UFOs back when Luis Elizondo was in charge. Luis being a former senior member of the Secrecy of Defense for Intelligence. However, later, the Pentagon would swivel a complete 180. UFOs? Never. Luis Elizondo? Never heard of him. Pentagon senior strategic planner and spokesperson Susan Goff, who is the government's go-to newly crowned UAP point of contact, had this to say, quote, "Neither AAWSAP nor AATIP were UAP related. Elizondo was not the director of AATIP, and he didn't have assigned responsibilities within the program." So there you have it. With constant rewriting of the story, it's no wonder that public scrutiny and suspicion has grown exponentially since the turn of the century. If we take a step back and learn to accept the official Pentagon stances with a grain of salt, then the answers begin to show clarity. A cluster of the most significant answers show themselves thanks to one thorough, detailed piece of information: the July 2009 report published by Bigelow Aerospace Advanced Space Studies. Within this 494-page booklet, the 10-month report, as it's called, is a near-endless list of strategic plans, project summaries, data tables, charts, physical characteristics, theoretical capabilities, witness statements, photographs, and more, every single one of which is entirely and explicitly about UAPs. After that document became public knowledge, and following the release of indisputable footage, which we'll show you in a moment, the Department of Defense realigned their stance once again. These days, in the words of Sue Goff, quote, "The Department of Defense and all of the military departments take any incursions by unauthorized aircraft into our training ranges or designated airspace very seriously and examine each report." End quote. Come on, guys, make up your mind. When the U.S. Navy officially published 3 videos that proved that flying saucers or something similar were among us, potentially off-world vehicles, then the Pentagon was forced to admit their existence and, in turn, their realistic threat. Here, take a look. This footage has circulated for years, but only recently has it been formally declassified and available for public viewing. In 2019, the Navy confirmed the 3 videos had indeed been captured by its registered pilots, but they also said the footage should have never been released to the public in the first place, with 2 of the videos leaked without authorization in 2007 and 2017. So why were they declassified then? When asked for an official statement about their astounding footage, the Navy released this comment. Quote, "There have been a number of reports of unauthorized and/or unidentified aircraft entering various military-controlled ranges and designated airspace in recent years." End quote. They didn't verify exactly what was flying in those videos, but they did verify their authenticity. With this confirmation, the UAP community was quickly up in arms, fanning the flame of interest. One of those people inundated with curiosity was astrophysicist Eric Davis, who consulted with the Pentagon's original UFO program and now works for a defense contractor called Aerospace Corporation. Davis stated explicitly that the government possesses materials from, quote, off-world vehicles not made on this Earth, end quote. He had examined certain classified materials and came to the conclusion that the human race, or at least our human race, was incapable of making such materials. Harry Reid, the former Nevada senator, who was instrumental in funding the original UFO program, joined in on the conversation, aligning his views with that of Eric Davis. Reid openly stated, quote, "I came to the conclusion that there were reports showing that there were actual materials that the government and the private sector had in their possession," end quote. But why now? Why declassify the Navy's UAP videos? Why allow astrophysicists to share secrets? Why would Sue Goff admit known threats? As mentioned, the footage was never intended to be released. It was leaked somehow. From that point, the Pentagon was playing catch-up. Perhaps by confirming the footage and the task force, they're trying to regain the upper hand. They had little to lose by the time they officially declassified the widely viewed footage. Could this all be an illusion, an act, making viewers think that the government's agencies are being completely transparent, when in reality, they're secretly continuing work in the background? By giving the people what they want, will interests dwindle? It's a far-fetched thought, although a case can be made for either side of the argument. Here's a wild idea. If the off-world vehicle technology is more advanced than we know, if there's substantially more to the story, then could it be possible that this technology is responsible for a handful of our very own major advancements over the last 50 years or so? That would explain why it's been hidden. It's near impossible that the American government would share its secrets with other nations, especially if it means sharing trillions of dollars worth of IP and societal advancements. As otherworldly focus hits its peak in 2020, much larger entities have become involved. Now it's not an ex-senator flying the flag or a half-baked Navy statement or a single astrophysicist declaring groundbreaking progress. As of mid-2020, the entire Senate has become involved. The Official Intelligence Authorization Act for fiscal year 2021 features a lot of important information about the future of off-world vehicles, UAPs, and unknown threats. However, there was one particular published paragraph that turned heads. This one. The committee remains concerned that there is no unified, comprehensive process within the federal government for collecting and analyzing intelligence on unidentified aerial phenomena, despite the potential threat. The committee understands that the relevant intelligence may be sensitive. Nevertheless, the committee finds that the information sharing and coordination across the intelligence community has been inconsistent, and this issue has lacked attention from senior leaders. Therefore, the committee directs the Director of National Intelligence, in consultation with the Secretary of Defense, to submit a report within 180 days of the date of enactment of the Act. Okay, now let's circle back to 3 key parts of that statement. 1. No unified, comprehensive process. Why would that be the case? Because each agency and each private invested company feels reluctant to share their progress with one another? 2. Lacked attention from senior leaders. Some would argue that this has been deliberate, since clear contribution by industry big shots would invite further scrutiny, something the Pentagon evidently tries to avoid. And finally, 3, submit a report within 180 days. We all know what this means. Within 6 months, we'll have more answers. The secrets behind the off-world vehicles, what they are, how they're made, and how Earth can capitalize on the technology will all soon be revealed. But let's not get too excited. Without conclusive evidence, for all we know, the supposed off-world vehicles could just be incredible engineering feats from another country, feats which the USA is yet to understand or replicate. Senator Marco Rubio addressed that notion, declaring that it is a national security risk and one that the USA should be looking into. While these kinds of UAPs could very well come from foreign powerhouse nations, the other possibility, of course, is that we can't pinpoint their origins from anywhere on this planet at all. So if there really is more out there, if the off-world vehicle materials really are what they claim to be, how and when could we know for sure? That depends on how long it takes companies like Elon Musk's SpaceX or Dutch organization Mars One to launch commercial space travel. Mars One estimates the cost of bringing the first 4 people to Mars at $6 billion. Meanwhile, a seat on a SpaceX capsule will cost a tourist about $52 million to start with. There's only one way to know for sure what's out there: to see it with our own eyes. Where do you think the government would hide the otherworldly materials? Area 51? The government did, after all, refuse to publicly acknowledge the existence of Area 51 for nearly 60 years, finally breaking their silence regarding the heavily guarded Air Force Base in 2013. If the whole base can be swept under the rug, many would argue that its contents could be hidden with even more ease, especially when there's a $153.6 billion Air Force budget to play with. Or could the hub be 1,000 miles further east in Roswell, New Mexico? The city brings in over $6 billion in annual alien-centric tourism, and who knows where that money actually ends up. Then there's the Skinwalker Ranch in Utah, which the massive BAASS report mentioned as a possible laboratory for studying other intelligences and possible interdimensional phenomena.